Alright, so we just went over the different variations and the standard 2-on-1 grips that most people teach. Now I'm going to show you how to actually clear a collar tie and get to these grips more effectively. So my partner Axel gets a collar tie. His elbow is kind of in my chest, or his forearm is in my chest, his hand is on my neck, right? My goal here is not to lock up and be tight and keep us in a 50-50 position. My goal is actually, like I was saying before, make it so that my partner can't see me. The way I do that is with my body and my legs, right? Everything else, the hands, the grips, that is all kind of guidance and assistance, but all the power and all the motion starts with your legs, hips, and chest. So first things first, my goal is I'm going to start to turn my chest. I'm going to turn my chest to the right side, right? If he has a collar tie on my left side, I'm going to turn my chest this way. Once I do that, at the same time, I'm going to find his wrist and get a good grip with my thumb right on his wrist right here. So as I turn and pivot my chest, I'm also bringing my shoulder to my ear, right? It's important that you don't bring your ear to your shoulder, because if he has a good grip on your neck and I do this, he can pull me down, right? And make it really uncomfortable for me. So again, head up straight, chest over hips. Right, I want to be in a very balanced position here. I control the wrist, bring my shoulder to my ear, and start to pivot. Right, if I get a really good grip, sometimes, right, I can make him even more uncomfortable by simply raising my arm. You see what that does to his body? He doesn't like this, right? So once I got this, I pull this arm away and down from my head, and I try to stretch his arm out across my chest. I try to puff out my chest big, and I pull my elbows back, and try to almost make it really uncomfortable for him here by locking out his arm against his elbow joint. Most people, right, are going to react. And again, this is where that underhand 2-on-1 grip that we just went over comes in. Again, I don't want to leave space here. I just create this pressure on his elbow. He responds by pulling his arm back to his chest, and there is our situation, right? We have his arm is in his chest. There's no space for him to pull this arm out, and now I can start pushing, 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 waiting for a response. So one more time, just so you guys see that all put together. He gets the collar tie. I start to pivot at the same time as I'm grabbing his wrist. Pivot. Again, I don't want to send myself back. If I send myself this far back, everything opens up for my partner, for my opponent. So when I do this, I actually want to come forward, right? So I drive into him, create pressure, right? And I wait for his reaction. If he stays down, I take his hips, right? If he pulls away, I find his hips, right? So the goal here is just to create a position where, once again, he's looking that way, my line of attack is right in front of me. And so he's wrestling a ghost, and I'm wrestling a person who doesn't see where I'm coming from. So that's how we get this underhand grip 2-on-1. Same steps to get an overhand grip. It's going to be the same steps to get this overhand grip. So we start here. I start to pivot, control this wrist. Now, once I'm here, I straighten out this arm. I'm actually going to drop my left shoulder on top of his, create a lot of pressure. Right? Now, I want to trap his arm between my belly, or like the right side of my belly and my thigh, right here. So he's trapped here, he's pinched. Can you go anywhere? No. Try. Okay, so again, now I have 2 free hands to work with. One is underneath his arm, holding my shoulder, pressure here. The other one is going to go from underhand to overhand. Once I have this overhand grip, that I can start manipulating his wrist, trying to find his hips, stepping around and getting the takedown. So that's how we find our overhand grip, is by creating pressure, once again, here, creating shoulder pressure to distract him from my hand that's about to make a big change. Now I'm overhand. Okay, now I'm overhand. If he stands up, again, I'm going to keep this arm tight to my hips, everything tight to my chest here, and I'm going to control it with him around. All right. So now, last grip, that key lock that we were talking about. Again, we're gonna clear the same collar tie. Here, we're gonna pull across our chest. Our chest is going forward. We're trying to almost break his arm, right? We obviously don't want that to be the case in a wrestling match, but we want to create discomfort. We create this discomfort. He pulls his arm back, and I'm gonna uppercut him in the chest, right? Once I did that, most people will just connect right here. But we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty details in the next video.